Hello, my name is Gary, and I was raised in the Western United States, so I'm a native English speaker. I hope that you will enjoy this YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us.
A pond full of milk. Once there was a king who instructed some of his workers to dig a pond. After the pond was completed, he announced to his people that each household needed to bring a glass of milk during the night and pour it into the pond, so it would be full of milk by morning. Following this order, everyone returned home. One man decided he would just bring water instead of milk, thinking that since everyone else would contribute milk, no one would notice if he poured in a glass of water instead. He figured that it would be dark at night, so his deception would go unseen. He quickly poured the water into the pond and returned home. The next morning, when the king came to inspect the pond, he was shocked to find it was only filled with water. What had happened was that everyone had thought like that man, believing, "I don't need to bring milk, someone else will take care of it." Moral of the story: when everyone expects someone else to take action, nothing gets accomplished, and collective responsibility is crucial for reaching a common goal. The farmer and the stalk. A farmer, upset that cranes were ruining his freshly planted corn, set up a net in his field one evening to catch the troublesome birds. The next morning, when he checked the net, he found several cranes and a stork. "Please let me go," begged the stork. "I haven't eaten any of your corn, and I've done you no harm. I'm just a harmless stork, as you can see. I respect my parents and follow the rules." But the farmer interrupted. "That may all be true, but I found you among the birds that are destroying my crops. So you'll face the same punishment as the company you keep." The moral of the story: people are judged by the company they keep. The Travellers and the Plane Tree. Two men were walking on a hot summer day. Before long, they grew tired from the heat, and, spotting a large plane tree nearby, they lay down beneath it to cool off in its shade. As they rested, one of the men looked up and said, "This tree is worthless. It doesn't give us any fruit or nuts to eat, and its wood is no good for anything." The tree gently rustled its leaves and replied, "How can you be so ungrateful? Right now, I'm providing you with shelter from the blazing sun, yet you call me useless." The moral of the story: we should be thankful for the good things we have and not take them for granted. Learning from mistakes. Thomas Edison experimented with 2,000 materials while trying to find the right filament for the light bulb. When none of them proved effective, his assistant complained, "All our efforts have been wasted. We've learnt nothing." Edison, however, confidently responded, "Not at all. We've made great progress and gained valuable knowledge. We now know that there are 2,000 materials that won't work for making a good light bulb. I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." The Ant and the Dove. One hot day, an ant was searching for water. After wandering for a while, she finally came across a spring. To reach the water, she had to climb up a blade of grass. But as she climbed, she slipped and fell into the spring. She was at risk of drowning, but a dove perched in a nearby tree saw her distress. The dove quickly plucked a leaf and dropped it close to the struggling ant in the water. The ant swam towards the leaf and climbed onto it, which carried her safely to shore. At that moment, a hunter nearby was preparing to throw his net over the dove, hoping to capture it. Sensing the danger, the ant swiftly bit the hunter's heel. In pain, he dropped his net and the dove flew away unharmed. No act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted.
The Wolf and the Lamb. One day, a lamb was grazing with her flock when she stumbled upon some delicious grass at the edge of the field. She wandered further and further away from the others, enjoying the tasty treat. Lost in her meal, she didn't notice a wolf creeping up on her. When he finally pounced on her, she quickly begged, "Please, don't eat me just yet. My stomach is full of grass. If you wait a little while, I'll taste much better." The wolf found this idea appealing, so he decided to wait. After a bit, the lamb suggested, "If you let me dance, the grass in my stomach will digest faster." The wolf agreed once again. As the lamb danced, a clever thought struck her. "Could you please take the bell from around my neck? If you ring it loudly, I can dance even quicker." The wolf complied and rang the bell with all his might. The sound caught the attention of the shepherd, who quickly sent his dogs to investigate. The barking dog scared off the wolf, saving the lamb in the nick of time. Sometimes, using wit and ingenuity can be more powerful than strength.
The Fox and the Grapes. On a sunny day, a fox strolled through the fields and soon stumbled upon a vineyard. As he got closer, he spotted some bunches of ripe grapes hanging from the vines. The fox glanced around to ensure no hunters were nearby. He decided to snatch a few grapes before anyone could catch him. He jumped up, but couldn't reach them. Trying again, he leaped as high as he could, yet the grapes remained out of reach. Refusing to give up, he took a few steps back, gathered speed, and jumped toward the grapes once more, but still fell short. As the sun began to set, frustration grew. His legs ached from all the effort. Finally, he stopped trying. As he walked away, he muttered to himself, "I don't really care for those grapes anyway. They're probably sour." We often find excuses to dismiss what we cannot reach, rather than acknowledging our shortcomings. The Thirsty Crow. On a scorching day, a thirsty crow flew over the fields in search of water. After a long search, she was feeling weak and was almost ready to give up. Just then, she spotted a jug below her and swooped down to check it out. To her relief, she saw some water inside. The crow attempted to get her head into the jug, but the neck was too narrow. She then tried to tip the jug over to spill the water, but it was too heavy for her to move. After thinking for a moment, she noticed some pebbles nearby. An idea sparked in her mind. One by one, she picked up the pebbles and dropped them into the jug. As she added more pebbles, the water level began to rise. Before long, it was high enough for her to drink. Her clever plan had succeeded. With creativity and persistence, you can overcome challenges and find solutions to difficult problems. The Milkmaid. A milkmaid was heading to the market to sell milk from her cow. Balancing a large jug of milk on her head, she began to fantasize about all the things she could do once she sold it. "With that money, I'll buy 100 chicks to raise in my backyard. Once they're grown, I can sell them for a good profit at the market." As she continued on her way, her daydreams grew. "Then I'll buy 2 young goats to keep nearby. When they mature, I can sell them for an even better price." Still lost in her thoughts, she imagined, "Soon I'll be able to buy another cow, giving me even more milk to sell. That means even more money." Feeling joyful, she began to skip and jump, but suddenly she tripped and fell, causing the jug to break and all the milk to spill onto the ground. With her dreams shattered, she sat down and cried. Planning for the future is good, but it's wise to be mindful of the present and the potential risks. The Boy and the Apple Tree. Once upon a time there was a large apple tree. A young boy loved to come and play around it every day. He climbed its branches, ate its apples, and napped in its shade. The boy adored the tree, and the tree cherished their time together. As time passed, the boy grew up and stopped visiting the tree regularly. One day he returned, looking sad. "Come and play with me," the tree said. "I'm not a child anymore. I don't play around trees," the boy replied. "I want toys, and I need money to buy them." "I don't have money, but you can pick all my apples and sell them," suggested the tree. Excited, the boy gathered all the apples and left happily. But he never returned, leaving the tree lonely. Years later, the boy, now a man, came back. The tree was thrilled. "Come and play with me," it said. "I don't have time to play. I need to work for my family and build a house. Can you help me?" "I don't have a house, but you can cut my branches to make one," the tree replied. The man cut off all the branches and left, feeling satisfied, but again the tree was left alone and sad. One hot summer day the man returned, and the tree was overjoyed. "Come and play with me," the tree exclaimed. "I'm getting old and want to go sailing to relax." "Can you give me a boat?" asked the man. "Use my trunk to build your boat. You can sail far away and be happy," said the tree. The man cut down the trunk and made a boat, sailing off and not returning for a long time. Finally, after many years, the man came back. The tree said, "I'm sorry, my boy, but I have nothing left for you. No more apples." "That's okay. I don't have any teeth to eat them," the man replied. "No more trunk to climb on," the tree added. "I'm too old for that now," said the man. "I really don't need much anymore, just a place to rest. I'm tired after all these years." "Good. My old roots are the perfect place to lean on and rest. Come, sit down with me," the tree said. The man sat down and the tree felt happy and smiled through its tears. This is a story for everyone. The tree represents our parents. When we were young, we loved to play with our mum and dad. But as we grow up, we often leave them and only return when we need something or find ourselves in trouble. No matter what, parents are always there, giving everything they can to make us happy. You might think the boy is cruel to the tree, but that reflects how many of us treat our parents. We take them for granted and fail to appreciate all they do for us until it's too late.